This
26th
call is being
episode of You Gotta
recorded.
Believe. And tonight we have a great honor. We're doing an interview with the Blue Devil. First, I'd like to thank God for allowing me to reach this moment in time. And we have great... Okay, welcome everybody. This is You Gotta Believe number 30. We keep on, I don't know, it's like time. It waits for no man. And we keep doing more and more of these. So this is the 30th one. And tonight we're going to discuss oxidative stress and oral diseases. And the second part will be Rudy Saves His City. So first I'd like to thank God, as I always do, for allowing me to reach this moment in time. And I am very appreciative of that. I'd also like to dedicate this call to my dad, who, by the way, was a dentist for many, many years, both in Brooklyn and in Long Island. And he used to work both places, worked very hard, 6 days a week, and commuted back and forth a good hour, depending on the traffic, and used to see patients on Sundays in both offices, as long as up till 10 o'clock at night. So thanks, Dad, for your work ethic and for everything else. So tonight, the article I picked is one of the Protandim-related articles called Understanding Antioxidants Using Various Arsenals to Impact the Oral Environment. Now, I am doing all of the Protandim-listed peer-reviewed articles. This one did not talk much about Protandim. And you would say, well, then it might not be great to review, but actually it was really awesome to review. And the reason is it has about the best description of antioxidants and oxidative stress that I've seen. And I hope I don't bore you, but I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs because I think it is the best description for a layman or even a scientist of oxidative stress. So here we go. As I say, I hope it's not boring. I'll try to read it well. Antioxidants can be defined as molecules that prevent and delay oxidation and neutralize free radicals. Common examples of oxidation are seen when bananas or apples are cut open and exposed to the air and they begin to brown. Oxidation also happens inside the body at a cellular level during normal metabolic processes, but can be accelerated due to various exposures or when antioxidant levels are too low. Free radicals are molecules that are unstable as a result of having an unpaired electron, and sources that create free radicals are common. Exposure to ultraviolet light, radiation, air pollution, chemicals, tobacco, alcohol consumption, and in the oral environment, including bleaching agents, dental cements, composite fillings, and metals used in dental procedures. Antioxidants counteract the process of oxidation by supplying a molecule to bond with the unpaired electrons of free radicals. They have the potential to interrupt or stop a chain reaction of free radical electron stealing, where one molecule steals an electron from another molecule, which in turn steals from another molecule, and so on, creating a condition referred to as, hit the lights, oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the imbalance that results from too many free radicals in the body or an inadequate amount of natural antioxidant defenses. Reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species are common types of oxidative stress seen in the body. The imbalance of too much oxidative stress can lead to damage of the DNA, RNA, and protein enzymes. Chronic inflammatory processes also induce oxidative stress, thereby generating reactive oxygen species. Particularly vulnerable molecules in the cell wall are unsaturated lipids. As early as 1987, data revealed that oxidative stress, referred to as lipid peroxidation, that initiate or ultimately promote the process of atherosclerotic lesion formation by directly damaging endothelial cells and increasing the susceptibility of platelets to aggregate. Endothelial cell injury by lipid peroxidation can also increase the uptake of low-density lipoprotein into the vessel wall. So this is a really great, simple description of what oxidative stress is. Too much free radicals or not enough antioxidants, and it's a balance. And of course, we have talked in the past that imbalance is what causes aging. So this is a very good summary, as I said. And interestingly enough, they're talking about lipid peroxidation, which is the T-bars of the first Protandim study. Sounds like we're having a problem with, let's get rid of that. Sorry about that. There was a little background. All right, so that was an excellent summary. I think that alone was worth reading this article, and you might want to read it yourself. Again, it's called Understanding Antioxidants Using Various Arsenals to Impact the Oral Environment. Periodontal disease, that's your gums, is associated with reduced antioxidants in the saliva. Oral cancer, cancer in the mouth, tongue, lips, gums, exhibit low antioxidants in saliva. Oxidative DNA damage encourages squamous cell carcinoma. There are increased free radicals in the saliva in people that have squamous cell cancer in the mouth. Now, this article talks mostly about topical antioxidant gels for the gums. Those are true exogenous antioxidants that you take as kind of a mouthwash or paint on your gums, which also helps reverse oxidative stress from smoking. There are great photos in this article showing how much healthier your gums look after using these kinds of topical antioxidants. It's really quite impressive. Now, this article also mentions that Protandim, and it discusses Protandim just for a short paragraph, increases SOD catalase and glutathione, and we know it also increases heme oxygenase. And it talks how important that would be, despite the direct antioxidants that you can paint on, to help with oral health care. And as you know, Protandim cannot diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. But I know I've spoken to a number of dentists who are in the company or understand oxidative stress, and they say that particularly in terms of gum disease, there is a huge potential for activating the NRF2 pathway and increasing antioxidants in the saliva and in the mouth to help prevent damage to your gums, which can lead to damage to your teeth, losing teeth, etc. So, not to get into testimonies at all, but my periodontal situation has improved markedly since I am on Protandim because of the change in the metabolism and NRF2 activation that comes with it. So, there we go. That is what I wanted to state. Now, let's talk about inspiration. Rudy Giuliani. Rudy saves his city. Rudy Giuliani was born in Brooklyn in 1944 and then grew up in Long Island. Maybe he's one of my heroes because I was born in Brooklyn and then grew up in Long Island. As the New York DA, he took on the 5 families of the mafia. You know who they are if you've ever watched the movie The Godfather. He did so well against the mafia that they put out a hit on him. Luckily, it was not successful, but there was a price on his head. He also prosecuted some very prominent Wall Street traders who were breaking the SEC laws, breaking laws of banking and investment. And he had some big cases like I think it was Arnold Milcan and the Boesky trials. So he became very successful in doing this. He also, as mayor of New York, lowered the murder rate from 2,500 one year down to 500 the next year. Every murder is one too many. But to go from 2,500 to 500 is actually incredible. I know for a fact, from looking at before and afters, before he was mayor and after, what an incredible job he did in the Broadway area and 42nd Street. He brought in investment and made it a family-oriented area on 42nd Street, which had been a real sewer before that. There's another story about Rudy Giuliani that makes him a hero in my mind. Yasser Arafat came to New York City to attend the UN session. And there was a big party for the beginning of the UN session at Carnegie Hall. When Rudy Giuliani found out that Yasser Arafat had come to Carnegie Hall for the party, he had the police evict him, saying there were no terrorists allowed in Carnegie Hall and that he would have to leave. That really impressed me. Now, many of us know that on 9/11, Rudy Giuliani was down in the area of the towers, and when one of the buildings collapsed, it collapsed on the building he was in, and he almost died. And a number of his friends actually were killed in that day. And by the way, he attended hundreds of funerals of firemen and police and people he knew, and he went to them personally after this. I mean, he's just a very admirable guy, the kind of guy you really would like to look up to. And I think that we need to have these people to look up to help us in our day-to-day lives and help us with LifeVantage and help us just understand what it takes to be a good person and to persevere, whether personally or in business. Now, after 9/11, Rudy Giuliani turned down a $10 million check for rebuilding New York City, and he turned it down from a Saudi prince because the Saudi prince had the nerve to state that 9/11 was partially due to defects in U.S. foreign policy, implying that being pro-Israel brought on 9/11. So Rudy said, well, thank you very much for the offer, but you can have your money back. That's pretty cool. Now, Rudy has been doing a lot of work with foreign countries since he was no longer mayor. And what he does now is he does efforts to decrease crime and terrorism around the world. Recently, he was given an award by the country of Colombia for reducing crime in the city of Medellin. They had a big party, and he was given this award. And, I think that's pretty amazing. Personally, I know that when I would visit my family in New York, I would like to go to Madison Square Garden. And anytime I go to New York, I try to pick up a Knicks game. The difference in the way the city looked or the safety versus crime factor in the time period before Rudy was mayor and then after he became mayor was just night and day. I'm talking about being able to walk into Madison Square Garden, not feeling that there was any danger, feeling like my kids were safe and I was safe. Whereas the time before with a different mayor, we don't have to mention who, it really was scary, the kinds of people that were hanging around Madison Square Garden. You felt like you could get mugged or, something might happen to your children. So I think Rudy has been an extremely successful man in his various jobs, helping the public and helping the people in New York. And I'm just disappointed that he never did anything further on a federal level. And recently he took his name out of any chance of being in the cabinet for the new administration. But I wanted to state that I think Rudy was a fabulous guy and a fabulous New Yorker and someone to look up to. So if you guys would like to read that summary that I read to you on oxidative stress, I think it would be very helpful for you when you try to explain what oxidative stress is to either potential customers or distributors. And it's on the front page of the article we mentioned. And that, I think, was more exciting than maybe the discussion of gum disease, because there wasn't much detail or much research that is listed. Thank you very much for listening tonight. I will continue to finish up on all the peer-reviewed studies. I don't have that many left to go. And then I'm going to also try to do some interesting interviews coming along down the road. So I will return next Tuesday night, and I'll figure out between then and now what we shall be discussing. Thank you for the honor of speaking to you all. God bless you, and remember the motto of LifeVantage is, in LifeVantage we make people better, and in doing so, we make the world a better place. I don't know about you, but I feel like the world is getting better as we speak.